Hi everyone, it's Lesley here from Elegant Edges, and today I'm talking to you about Celebration, which is the wonderful free product event from Stampin'Up. Okay, I'm a demonstrator for Stampin'Up in the UK, and I'm really get quite excited about this, you can probably tell. So there's a whole brochure of free product, and it all depends on the size of your order. If you order at least £45 worth of product, you then have a choice of some of the first level or freebies. If your order goes to £90, you can choose either two 45s or a £90 freebie, and so on. It just goes like that in multiples of 45. So brilliant. So if you haven't seen this, you can check it out on the Stampin'Up website. All the links will be down below the video and on my blog at www.elegantedges.co.uk. okay, all the links, my media, everything, and the cutting dimensions will be there. So I'm probably not going to give out every single measurement in the video, but you will find them on my blog. I've got them in English Imperial, American sizes, and in metric. So I hope I've covered all the bases. So that's today, and this is the particular freebie that I'm using today. It's called Flight Airy, beautiful papers, as you can see. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze in a second. It's all about birds. So this is how I keep my designer series paper in little envelopes. That keeps it all nice. So you get two of each design. So there's two of these kind of larger birds with lots of green. This one is so pretty with lovely blossom. Larger blossom, equally pretty. Here is one sheet, and you get lots of little birds on here, single birds and loving birds, and all I've done is fussy cut half a sheet out. And where I've got a bird on the edge, I've also kept that, and I'll show you on my card how I've used all these half, not all of them, but some of these half bits, so don't throw those away either. And there are larger birds, single birds, and I fussy cut some of those as well. Okay, so really pretty papers, and they are double-sided. So there's the pretty birds, lovely fresh freesia on the back. This one's got lovely trailing blossom, hard to know which side to use. Quite a nice trellis here with the brown that I'm going to try and use today. This is really nice. This is a Lost Lagoon background with a sort of vine and birds. Boho blue. And then we're back, so we get two of everything. So I'm going to pop those away now. I've got everything cut out. And the reason I've got everything cut out, here you are, look, you can see some of my fussy cut elements, is because it's very cold here in the UK. And when it's cold, I suffer a lot with arthritis and my fingers hurt. So this is the card I made ready for today. It's a double gatefold, and the front bits don't quite go to the edges, but they fold back. It opens up, and inside, obviously, you've got a lovely panel to write on, and you've got these half bits, as you can see from the papers. I've stuck them on the bit to write on to decorate that. On here, I've used a lovely embossing folder. Let me get it. And the embossing folder comes with a stamp set, and they are a £90 order value. So there's the embossing folder. Really delicate design. So I've used that on this little focal point on the front. Worth it just for that embossing folder. So nice. I'm going to be using that lots. I'm going to put that to one side. So celebration items are the actual designer series paper, this embossing folder, and this stamp comes from the stamp set that goes with the embossing folder. Well, that one doesn't, but the one I'm going to use today does. Okay, so stamps that go with it. Hello there, you're in my thoughts. Beautiful, with a lovely scroll. I really appreciate you. So very nice stamp set. Okay, so let's get started. So my base card here, I've already scored. And as I say, I'm not going to give every measurement, but this one is 5 3/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 1 1/4, 3 7/8, over to this side 7 5/8, and 9 3/4. But go on the blog because they will all be there, in case I kind of make a mistake with the video. As I say, I am suffering a little bit today. And I've just knocked my bone folder off the back of the desk. So I'm not going to go and hop and grovel and try and find that. I'm just making do with some horrid old plastic thing, but it'll do for today. Okay, so there's my basic fold. Lovely and easy. Okay, and I'll cut my papers. Today I'm having a very tiny margin all around the edge. I've cut some of that big bird paper, some of the brown trellis I'm going to have. You can see it's the other side, and all I've done is swap sides. Now let me see which way around I'm going to put these birds. That's it, that way. So I'm going to pop those on the fold back items. So I'm using Tombow, the multi-purpose wet glue, and all I've done is decant it into one of these fine point applicators. I find I don't use as much, and I don't get glue everywhere. They've helped me a lot. So on the front, a tiny little margin, if you can see, tiny little border. I've cut it 1/8 of an inch narrower all round than the size of the fold. Just checking to make sure I'm recording. Luckily I am. Okay, so that's my fold back bit, and now I'm going to put these on. So I could have it that way, but I think it gets lost. So what I've done is turn it over, and I chose the Flirty Flamingo because I thought it really brightened up this brown trellis, and it's in the birds. I love how they always tell you, Stampin' Up always tells you the colours that are in the papers, so that it's very easy to choose your colours for cardstock and everything else. Maybe that was a little bit mean with my glue there. A little bit more there. So I'm going to make sure the outside edges look good, because this inside wouldn't show if it was slightly out. And then on this side, let's do it again. Make sure I've got them up the right way. Is that the right way? I think it's that way because the birds are up the right way. Okay, so we're going to do the same on this side. Narrow border. Okay, so that really is most of our card done now. Lovely. Then inside, do all the inside first. I have a piece of white card. On it I've got some, this is for my topper outside, I've got two of those big birds, incomplete ones. So I've got one here facing that way, and this lovely chubby little fellow with the Flirty Flamingo on, so that's why I chose him on that side. So I'm going to pop the little birds on. I think they're so sweet, whether they're sitting on a branch or fluffed up in the cold. I think they're all lovely. So no good popping these up on dimensionals when they're inside, because we want it to lie nice and flat. There we go. Try to get it right to the edges. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, glue. Don't run out on me. Keep going. Okay, in the middle. Let's get it in the middle, side to side, top and bottom. There we are. Okay, that's the inside all done. Now comes to this, the topper. So here's my embossed piece of card, and I've embossed the basic white, and you can see I've got the design perfectly going right down the middle of the card. It's ever so easy to do that. Show you how I lined it up. It was a tip I got from another demo, and I'm very grateful. I wish I could remember her name, but I was very grateful for the tip. So Stampin'Up always have their name on the bottom. Brilliant, because that's the center. So the pattern, I put the point right in the center point, and the opposite point goes all the way up. You just follow the design right through, hold it tight, and then run it through your cut and emboss machine. Brilliant, but so easy to do. Useful tip. So that's my white. Now the only thing I wasn't sure is, do I want blue? This is boho blue because that's in the birds. I thought that would be quite nice. Or do I want Flirty Flamingo? Ooh, that's a hard decision, isn't it? I think I'm going to have... Ooh, so difficult. I think I'm going to keep to the Flirty Flamingo. Obviously both work. So I definitely like to use wet glue when I'm putting embossed card down. There we are. Just get it in the middle. Corner fingers work. Here we are. Now I need to make sure I only stick it on this left hand side. I'm going to try and position it so I see the maximum number of birds. Okay, so I only need to go as far as these diagonals and not quite as far. So you can see I haven't gone exactly. I've left a little gap so that when I squish this flat, the glue doesn't come out the edges. Come on, glue. Down you come. There. Okay. So we try and see as many birds as we can. Normally I would center it, but I think it's more important to get the birds. Okay, and I'm going to make sure my points are in line with this, which they are. Squish it down. Okay, now here's my lovely little bird. Let me get some extra bits. Okay, I have some mini dimensionals here. I take your pick tool just to go on the back. Oh, So it's all going to be covered, so I don't have to worry about anything going off the edges. It's very helpful. There. Okay, take the backs off. Going to position it just slightly up a little bit so that I have room there for a sentiment. And I have stamped some out, and I've stamped it out already because of my poor fingers. So I'm going to use today Hello There. This is the one that comes from the other Celebrations stamp set, and I've stamped it in boho blue. I'm going to pop some more dimensionals on the back. I could use big ones, but I've got minis out, so we're just going to use minis. Oh, ouch. There we are. Hello there, lovely. A great one for, can I get it centered? Just lay it very gently before I try and center it. Maybe a little bit over. How's that? That's not too shabby. Okay, and then I'm going to pop some embellishments on the front. I'll do that, my fingers, I'll do that afterwards when I finished, okay? Something like this where I used the iridescent rhinestones. And there's my card. So, ooh, little tip there, don't do what I just did and get the glue on the back here. That'll come off, it'll be fine. Okay, so there's my card. There's one. Here's the one I did earlier, and here's one I did with a previous celebration item, Favoured Florals. So here are the two from the Flight Airy. Hope you like those. Hope you try it. And do get yourself some freebies. So thanks for watching. So pop over to my blog. It'll be up probably about an hour after this video, and you'll be able to see all the cutting dimensions. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.